Welcome! Today we're diving into a really critical part of the AI world, monitoring. We're going to find out how you can make sure your AI agents aren't just powerful, but are actually reliable when it counts.
So let's just start with a big question. Are your AI agents flying blind? Seriously, without the right kind of oversight, these autonomous systems could be creating risks you can't even see, and that's a huge problem as they get woven into our businesses. Okay, so what exactly is an AI agent? It's not just a chatbot. It's an autonomous system that can actually sense what's going on around it, make its own decisions, and then take action. The best way to think about it is like having a brilliant but totally unsupervised intern. They're capable of amazing things for sure, but without some guidance, they could make some really, really costly mistakes.
So, why is this topic so important right now, in 2025? Well, it's because these agents are moving out of the lab and into the real world, and suddenly the stakes are so much higher.
You see, the very thing that makes these agents so powerful, their autonomy, is also what makes them risky. We're not talking about old-school software anymore. These are systems that learn and adapt on the fly, and that means their behavior can change in ways we just don't expect.
All right, let's get specific and talk about the real tangible risks that this autonomy creates. And these aren't just hypotheticals. This stuff is happening in production systems as we speak.
First up, the big one, hallucinations. This is when the agent, with 100% confidence, just makes things up. It might invent facts, cite articles that don't exist, and that kind of misleading info can absolutely crush your brand's credibility.
Then there's something called performance drift. So an agent that was working perfectly last week might start failing today. Why? Well, maybe the data it's seeing has changed, or maybe users are just interacting with it in a new way. And without monitoring, this slow decay in quality can go totally unnoticed.
And this is a huge deal for any business. Data and compliance leaks. An agent could accidentally expose sensitive customer info or break rules like GDPR. We're talking about massive fines and a complete loss of trust. It's a major, major concern.
And finally, you've just got plain old unexpected behavior. The real world is messy, right? When an agent runs into a situation it wasn't trained for, it can go off script in ways you never, ever saw coming, which leads to terrible user experiences or even operational failures. Okay, so now that we know the risks, and I know that can sound a little scary, let's talk about the solutions. There are some incredible tools on the market designed to help us manage all this complexity.
We're going to kick things off with Maxim AI. This platform has really emerged as a leader in the space, especially for teams that need to make sure their agents are totally reliable and compliant at a massive enterprise scale.
So what Maxim AI does is it gives you this one unified platform to see the entire agent lifecycle. It's got something called distributed tracing, which basically lets you see every single step in an agent's thinking, from the first prompt to every LLM call and every tool it uses along the way. It's also built for the enterprise, with security compliance like SOC 2 and private deployment options. But the real game changer here is having one single place to go for everything, from debugging a problem to analyzing performance in production. It helps teams move from just reacting to errors to actually improving their agents before things go wrong.
Okay, next up is LangFuse. This one is a really popular choice for anyone who puts a premium on open source and wants to have complete control over their own data and infrastructure.
LangFuse is fantastic for teams that want to build on an open source foundation. Its biggest strengths are its really detailed tracing and the fact that you have total data control. That makes it perfect for organizations that have the technical chops to manage their own setup and really need that level of transparency.
All right, number 3 is Arise Phoenix. This is a seriously powerful option, especially for technical teams that are managing these big, complex deployments where you have both traditional machine learning models and LLMs working together.
Its key strength, without a doubt, is its super deep analytics and drift detection, which, as we talked about, is absolutely crucial for making sure your models stay effective over time. If you're in a complicated environment and you're worried about your models slowly getting worse without you noticing, Arise is a very, very strong choice.
Now, for teams that just need to get some visibility quickly without a whole bunch of setup, there's Helicone. It's a lightweight, open-source tool that's just incredibly simple to get up and running. Helicon is all about rapid iteration. If your team is deep in the weeds of prompt engineering and just needs a fast way to log and analyze what's going on, this is your tool.
It lets you experiment without a heavy, complex integration process.
And finally, we've got Lunary. This tool really shines for teams that are super focused on optimizing and versioning their prompts. It's carved out a very specific and very important niche for itself.
The best way to think about Lunary is like version control, but for your prompts. It gives you a really clean interface to manage the whole prompt lifecycle, so you can track how small changes affect your agent's performance. It's a great tool to have alongside some of the broader observability platforms.
Okay, so with all these great options on the table, how do you actually choose the right one for you? It can definitely feel a little overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be.
Here's a super simple 3-step way to think about it. First, just assess your scale. Are you a huge enterprise or a small startup? The needs are totally different, so a tool like Maxim AI might fit a larger org better. Second, define your number one priority. If having total control of your data is non-negotiable, then LangFuse should be at the top of your list. And third, think about your team's focus. Are you in heavy production mode, or are you still in that rapid experimentation phase? Now, no matter which tool you choose, there are some universal best practices that will help you build a real culture of AI reliability. Let's just quickly run through 5 key things. 1, you've got to implement end-to-end tracing to see the full picture. 2, monitor the metrics that actually matter to the business: cost, latency, error rates. 3, use a mix of automated checks and real human review. 4, set up real-time alerts so you know about problems the second they happen. And 5, make sure whatever tool you choose integrates smoothly with everything else you're using. If you do these things, you'll be well on your way to building a really robust system.
All right, let's wrap things up by looking ahead, because this whole field is moving at an absolutely incredible pace, and the thinking behind monitoring is changing right along with it.
See, the future isn't just about monitoring for errors after they happen. It's about building true observability. That means being able to ask any question about your system and actually get an answer. It's about understanding the why behind every single thing your agent does so you can proactively make it better. So as we finish up, I'll just leave you with this final thought. Building a smart agent is getting easier every single day. But intelligence, that's just the first step. The real challenge and the whole future of this field is building trust, and that always starts with seeing everything.